promote values which constitute the pillars of democracy. It is by sharing these values at regional level under the auspices of the forum that member parliaments grow together, share lessons, and develop peer experiences which enhance democracy in our region as a whole. Our aim, honorable members, is to make the Sadc region an epitome of democracy in the world for others to emulate. With such an robustness of the regional women's
Sadc zinamalizika hapa.
Your Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, our guest of honor, Right Honorable Roger Macien, President of Sadc Parliamentary Forum and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Right Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania and host speaker, distinguished speakers and heads of delegation, Honorable Regina Esperon, Chairperson of Regional Women's Parliamentary Caucus, Honorable Hussein Bashe, Minister of Agriculture in the Government of Tanzania, and other ministers present here, Members of Parliament, Honorable John Mongela, Arusha Regional Commissioner, Ms. Boemo Sekoma, Sadc Parliamentary Forum Secretary General, members of the Diplomatic Corps, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor to take you through the program for the opening ceremony of the 53rd Sadc Parliamentary Forum Assembly. Shortly, I will request the Secretary General of Sadc PF, Ms. Sekoma, to present credentials of delegates to the 53rd Sadc PF Assembly. After the credentials, we will have a short interlude by the Parliament Choir. The interlude will be followed by the statement from the Chairperson of the Regional Women's Parliamentary Caucus, Honorable Regina Esperon. After that, the following item will be an address by the Sadc PF President and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Right Honorable Roger Macien. Then we will have another short interlude by the National Service Group called Oljoro JKT. And after that interlude, I will invite Right Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, to deliver welcome remarks, and thereafter she will invite Her Excellency the President of the United Republic of Tanzania to address the 53rd Assembly. Her Excellency's address will be preceded by a vote of thanks, which will be delivered by Right Honorable Nelly Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, on behalf of Mauritius. We will then conclude our program by group photos. And on that note, I now request the Secretary General of Sadc PF, Ms. Boemo, to present the credential of delegates. And in the meantime, the Parliament Choir, please be prepared. Madam SG, please.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, our guest of honor, Honorable Roger Macien, President of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Right Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of the United Republic of Tanzania, our host, the Right Honorable Ms. Nelly Butete Kashumba Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, distinguished honorable speakers, honorable members, and heads of delegates of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum, Honorable Regina Esperon, the Chairperson of the Regional Women's Parliamentary Caucus, Honorable Hussein Bashe, Minister of Agriculture in the Government of the United Republic of Tanzania, our honorable members, of the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable John Mungela, Arusha Regional Commissioner, Ms. Nenelo Amwimba, Clerk of the National Assembly of Tanzania, members of the Diplomatic Corps, clerks and secretaries general of Sadc Parliamentary Forum member parliaments, the Sadc Parliamentary Secretariat, Secretariat of the National Assembly of Tanzania, staff of parliament from all our national parliaments, the media, all invited guests, allow me to say, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I feel greatly honored and privileged to address you at this critically important occasion marking the 53rd Plenary Assembly Session of the Southern African Development Committee Parliamentary Forum. We have all gathered here to contribute towards strengthening legislative governance in Southern Africa. This is a subject which is so dear to my heart, and I believe it is also dear to the hearts of many citizens of Sadc. I therefore embrace this opportunity to introduce our esteemed delegations with the utmost humility. Honorable members, as we embark on this August 53rd Plenary Assembly Session, I wish to express my gratitude to all delegates from our member countries across the Sadc region for their dedicated participation. I would like to acknowledge with appreciation the commitment and resolve taken by National Assembly and government of the United Republic of Tanzania to host this statutory and pertinent engagement. As you may be all aware, the United Republic of Tanzania is a land of wonders in Africa. Endowed with a rich cultural heritage and jaw-dropping landscapes, teeming with abundant wildlife, world-renowned robust tourist attractions, and amazing historical sites. Indeed, honorable members, Arusha, the Geneva of Africa, shines with a jewel in the midst of our continent. The unmistakable hospitality of the city is felt through the warmth of its people, and thank you, Tanzania, for welcoming us. In this regard, we are immensely grateful that this August Assembly is meeting in Arusha, a place with so much significance on the African landscape and the history of our liberation struggles in Southern Africa. Honorable members, I wish to put it on record that this is the 4th time that the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania is hosting the Sadc Parliamentary Forum Plenary Assembly. I wish to applaud you, Madam Speaker, Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, as well as my highly capable sister, the Clerk of the National Assembly, Ms. Nenelo J. Mwihambi, for the meticulous arrangements made for the convenience of delegates to this 53rd Plenary Assembly session. We owe them a huge debt of gratitude for their excellence and professionalism in providing befitting facilities for convening the 53rd Plenary Assembly session. Honorable members, this is the 3rd physical gathering of the Assembly session in the post-COVID-19 global pandemic era. Honorable members, I wish to highlight progress for the benefit of our guest of honor, which has been made by the Sadc Parliamentary Forum in the execution of the Strategic Plan 2019 to 2023. The strategic plan framed the parameters of the forum's activities over the past 4.5 years. Many success stories were registered and significant lessons learned. These will undoubtedly inform the successor strategic plan as we also seek to expand the role of parliamentarians in building the future of our regional economic community. During the period under review, and for the first time in the history of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum, a process of domesticating 3 model laws began during this strategic plan of 2019 to 2023. Initiatives to domesticate the Sadc model law on elections, which was adopted in December 2018, began in January 2019. Whilst the domestication of the Sadc model law on gender-based violence, which was adopted in 2021, and the model law on public financial management, which was also adopted in 2022, are already underway for consideration. Monitoring of these domestication processes is being conducted by the Sadc Parliamentary Forum Regional Model Laws Parliamentary Oversight Committee. Your Excellency and honorable members, we have another 6 months to proceed with domestication initiatives indeed promising. Along the way, we naturally continue to rely on the advocacy role of our members of parliament to lead deliberations and open avenues for progressive domestication to take place in consultation with multi-stakeholders at country level. The adoption of normative legal standards for benchmarking of national parliaments is not the only progress that has been made by the Sadc Parliamentary Forum. The Forum has adopted principles and guidelines for national parliaments to address the implementation of human rights and to curb corruption, among others. These documents support the existing Bill of Rights of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum. Furthermore, tremendous progress has been made by improving the robustness of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum institutional framework. The Committee of Clerks and Secretaries General has grown into a stalwart organ of the Forum, which advises the Executive Committee and the Office of the Secretary General on administrative issues. The institutional framework is now supported by an oath or affirmation of adherence sworn by new Sadc Parliamentary Forum members, which gives credence to the core values and guiding principles of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum. More importantly, the Forum has also obtained policy approval from the Sadc Summit of Heads of States and Government to transform into a regional parliament. As we meet, this long-awaited transformation is now within arm's reach, and national parliaments are encouraged to continue to support the final steps to actualize the transformation through the signature of the agreement amending the Sadc Treaty, and eventually by considering of the protocol. We are thus drawing closer to our coveted regional objective to have a Sadc parliament, which will promote further interparliamentary integration. On this note, allow me to seize this opportunity to also wish this August Assembly a belated Happy International Day of Parliamentarism, which was celebrated by the Forum just a few days ago and other parliaments around the globe on the 30th of June 2023. The Sadc Parliamentary Forum is seized with promoting democracy through parliamentarism, or heightening parliamentary democracy at the regional level. It does so by implementing programs and pursuing initiatives which build the capacity of members of parliament to uphold democratic principles, preserve the rule of law, and promote sovereignty and independence of parliaments. Where parliaments are established by the constitution of the member states, the Forum also supports constitutionalism and the need to respect the Constitution at all times, especially when Parliament delivers its lawmaking functions. The forum, therefore, is indebted to promote values which constitute the pillars of democracy. It is by sharing these values at regional level under the auspices of the forum that member parliaments grow together, share lessons, and develop peer experiences which enhance democracy in our region as a whole. Our aim, honorable members, is to make the Sadc region an epitome of democracy in the world for others to emulate. With such earnest progress, I wish to thank this plenary assembly for its impetus and willingness to approve initiatives that make the Sadc Parliamentary Forum go further in pursuing parliamentary excellence. The diversity of our membership present today shows that the forum is on the right track and remains as relevant as it was at inception. Director of Ceremonies, in line with the established practice of this August Plenary Assembly, allow me now to inform our guest of honor and distinguished delegates that this 53rd Plenary Assembly session has drawn delegates from the following countries. I wish to request that the delegates kindly rise for the benefit of the guest of honor as I mention your leader of delegation and country. The National Assembly of Angola, a delegation of 5 members led by Honorable Pedro Sebastião, Member of Parliament. The Parliament of Botswana, a delegation of 5 members led by Honorable Bono Moatludi, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. The Parliament of the Democratic Republic of Congo, a delegation of 6 members led by Honorable Sanguma T. Masai, Vice President of Senate. The Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini, a delegation of 6 members led by Honorable Petros Mavimbela, Speaker of the House of Assembly. The Parliament of the Kingdom of Lesotho, a delegation of 6 members led by Honorable Tlohans Kamani, Speaker of the National Assembly. You are welcome. The Parliament of Malawi, a delegation of 8 members, of which 2 are observers, led by Honorable Aisha Adams Mambo, the second Deputy Speaker. The Parliament of Namibia, a delegation of 7 members, of which 2 are observers, led by Honorable Philippus Wido Katamelo, Member of Parliament. The National Assembly of Seychelles, a delegation of 3 members, led by Honorable Roger Massieng, Speaker of the National Assembly and President of the Sadc Parliamentary Forum. The Parliament of South Africa, a delegation of 5 members, led by Honorable Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, Speaker of the National Assembly. The Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, a delegation of 6 members, led by Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly, our host. The National Assembly of Zambia, a delegation of 6 members, led by Honorable Nelly B.K. Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly. The Parliament of the Republic of Zimbabwe, a delegation of 6 members, led by Honorable Advocate Jacob Francis Nzwidamililo Modenda, Speaker of the National Assembly. May we also recognize clerks and secretaries generals of member parliaments here present who are among us. The Sadc Parliamentary Forum Secretariat, Last but not least, all the staff from member parliaments and the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, our host. Your Excellency, the parliaments of Madagascar, Mauritius, and Mozambique send apologies of absence. At this point, Your Excellency, we also have members of parliament invited by the host parliament, the United Republic of Tanzania, as observers. These are 9 Arusha regional representatives. May they kindly rise. 6 IPU representatives. We have 7 Commonwealth Parliamentary Association representatives. We have 5 Great Lakes representatives. We also have 3 ACP EU representatives. We also have among us 61 members of parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania. Invited guests, Master of Ceremony, allow me also to introduce distinguished guests from our cooperating partners that the Sadc Parliamentary Forum has invited to the plenary assembly. And I wish to request them to kindly also rise for the benefit of our guest of honor as I call out your name. Dr. Roba Sharamo, who is representing International IDEA. Mr. Dercio Alfazema and Mr. Egidio Vaz, representing Institute para Democracia Multipartidariya, IMD of Mozambique. Mr. Joseph Ngwawi, representing Sadc, based in Harare. Mr. Joab Okanda, Action Aid, Pan-African Senior Advocacy Advisor. Mr. John, oh, he's present, thank you very much. Mr. John Vutoi, Arasa representative. Thank you. Director of Ceremonies, Your Excellencies, and distinguished delegates, permit me to conclude by thanking the government and the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, through you, Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, our host speaker, for graciously hosting the Sadc Parliamentary Forum, 53rd Plenary Assembly Session in this beautiful city of Arusha. I wish all distinguished delegates fruitful deliberations. I thank you, asante sana.
Thank you, Madam SG. I now invite on stage the Parliament Choir to perform a special song that has been prepared for this occasion. Parliament Choir, please.
Republic of Tanzania, dear honorable ministers present here, dear honorable members of parliament from Sadc member countries, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you. We are humbly inviting you to this land, the land that is cradle of humankind. Welcome to the land of the highest peak in Africa and only peak with ice in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro.
Welcome to the vast plains of the great Serengeti with the trek of the immense wildebeest Earth. Welcome to the largest mammal migration on Earth. Welcome to the Ngorongoro crater, a natural wonder of the world with its unique formation. Formed about 2 million years ago, the world's 8th natural wonder. Welcome to the best white sand beaches of the Zanzibar archipelago. Welcome to explore Tanzania, the land rich of wildlife on earth. Welcome home, Tanzania, where everyone feels heaven on earth. Welcome to Arusha. Welcome to Tanzania.
Let's go!
Agriculture, heartbeat of Africa. Agriculture, heartbeat of Sadc. We need to modernize agriculture for the economic growth, reduction of poverty and food insecurity for the development of Sadc. Agriculture, heartbeat of Africa, with abundance of natural resources and ever-growing labor force and arable land, and ever-growing labor force and arable land. Sadc, let us modernize our agriculture. Sadc, let us modernize our agriculture. Revive agriculture through promoting the role of private sectors, adapting products, enhancing technology, guaranteeing food markets, and improve income for farmers. Oh yeah! Agriculture, heartbeat of Africa, with abundance of natural resources and ever-growing labor force and arable land, and ever-growing labor force and arable land. Sadc, let us modernize our agriculture. Sadc, let us modernize our agriculture. Africa.
amewashika mkono kwa shughuli kubwa ambayo ameifanya hapa, wakiimba vivutio vilivyoko katika Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, lakini wimbo unahamasisha mshikamano pamoja kwa Sadc katika masuala ya kilimo. Imekuwa ni furaha ajabu hapa ndani. Mwongozaji wa shughuli hii ni katibu wa bunge Nenelo Mwihambi. Tunampa jukwaa tena aendelee na shughuli.
Office of the National Assembly. The next item is the statement of the Regional Women Parliamentary Caucus Chairperson, Honorable Regina Esperon.
Our guest of honor, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Sadc PF President and Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of Seychelles, Honorable Rosie Mancienne, Honorable Speaker of National Parliament, Head of Delegation, distinguished delegates, good afternoon. Allow me to stand on the already established protocol in interest of time. It is an honor for me to address this august gathering as the chairperson of the Regional Women Parliamentary Caucus of Sadc Parliamentary Forum. The convening of the 53rd Plenary Assembly session presents us yet another crucial moment to introspect on the stride we have made in promoting gender equality, empowering women, and championing women's rights within our nation, across the region, and on a global scale. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates, despite global efforts, women continue to face discrimination and remain significantly underrepresented in politics and decision-making roles. The most recent data on Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 5, shows that the world is not yet on track to achieve gender equality by 2030. The United Nations Women Gender Snapshot of 2022, which assesses progress in gender equality across the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, provide a harsh awakening, revealing that with the current pace, it would take another 286 years to eradicate discriminatory laws and close the gap in legal protection for women and girls. While the Global Gender Gap Report 2023, released just a few days ago by the World Economic Forum, demonstrates that the gender gap close to date is only 68.2% for the sub-Saharan Africa compared to 76.3% for Europe. Furthermore, for political participation, the gender gap has only been closed by 22.6%, demonstrating that there is a momentous effort to be made to empower women for political career. These observations underscore the urgent need for accelerated action to achieve through gender equality and ensure the rights and well-being of all. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates. In the Sadc region, some member states have made commendable strides in implementing legislative and other measures to reduce gender equality. However, a recent region-wide study on challenges for women political participation in Sadc countries 2023, conducted by our own forum, the Sadc PF, revealed a perturbing reality where it indicated that barriers that were identified over the past decade, which hindering women progress toward top position in politics and decision-making at all levels continues to persist today.
Hey guys, Ryan here from Road, and in this video I'll be talking about something that has been generating a lot of comments and interest online. Something that
prolonged conflicts such as mass migration and internal displacement that perpetuates gender gap. Ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that the situation is bound to worsen unless these novel challenges are addressed along the stride. In this respect, we have welcomed the Sadc model law on gender-based violence, which gives a broad definition to GBV, such that it can encapsulate all forms of violence against women, including cyber violence. Besides the revelation on women integration in the socio-economic landscape, highlight the need to take immediate and collective action to ensure that women have equal opportunity for leadership and full participation in decision-making at all levels for political, economic, and public life. Bearing in mind that failing to do so will hinder our progress in achieving gender parity in the region by 2030. As parliamentarians, we have a unique opportunity to accelerate gender equality and empower women in the Sadc region by advocating for the adoption of relevant model law, which has been adopted by Sadc-PF to protect the rights of women and girls, such as the Sadc model law on eradicating child marriage and protecting children already in marriage, as well as the Sadc model law on gender-based violence. We can actively contribute to the noble cause. Guests of honor, distinguished delegates. In Africa, women continue to be underrepresented in key decision-making roles. The African Gender Barometer 2021 reveals that women hold only 22% of cabinet positions, 12% of the top party functionary positions, and a mere 7% of high-level political executive positions, including president, vice president, prime ministers, and deputy prime ministers. Given these alarming statistics, there is an urgent need to intensify effort and transformative action to overcome the barrier that impedes women empowerment and hinders the achievement of gender equality. The upcoming wave of presidential and parliamentary elections in the Sadc region in the next 2 years offers us a chance to translate promises into actions. There is a need for women to be equally represented as candidates to election, as elected MP, as ministers in cabinets, and even as stakeholders coordinating or observing the electoral process. Let us ensure that gender equality is not rhetoric, but a tangible reality in our respective countries and the entire Sadc region. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Tanzania for setting a valuable example with the appointment of Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan as President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Her esteemed leadership serves as an inspiration and testimony to the progress we can achieve when women are given the opportunity to excel in the higher position of power in spite of challenges just because we are women. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates, the theme of the 53rd Plenary Assembly, Modernizing Agriculture for Food Security and Youth Employment in Sadc, Role of Parliament, hold greater significance for women in our region. Food insecurity remains a critical challenge, particularly affecting women and children, due to factors such as climate change-induced drought, which some of you often face. According to a report on the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN on the status of women in agri-food system, released in 2023, as high as 66% of women employment in sub-Saharan Africa are in agri-food system. By prioritizing agricultural modernization, we can address the unique barrier faced by women in the agricultural sector. This will empower women, not ensuring food security alone, but nutritional sufficiency and economic benefit in the Sadc region. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates. Agriculture is the foundation of most of our economy, supporting the livelihood of the majority of our population. And women's vital role in the agricultural sector, especially in rural areas, cannot be overstated. They serve as primary agro-food producer, responsible for household food security and nutrition, and also represent a significant portion of the workforce in commercial agriculture. Despite women's vital role in agriculture, they often experience gender-based discrimination, which hinders the productivity, economic empowerment, and opportunities. They face barriers like limited access to credit, resources, and land rights hinders women with factors such as customary land tenure system, cultural norms, discriminatory practices, and legal framework contributes to unequal land access and control for women compared to that of men. As parliamentarians, it is our duty to dismantle these barriers and establish an enabling environment that empowers women in agriculture in the region. Guests of honor, distinguished delegate, I therefore wish to call for the adoption of gender-responsive agricultural policy to address the unique challenges faced by women in Sadc agriculture, particularly smallholder farmers. Empowering women in agriculture has significant potential to improve food security, reduce poverty, and drive sustainable development. We must prioritize policy development and implementation that specifically addresses gender disparity while providing targeted financial and technical support to women farmers. Investment in gender-sensitive agricultural service, training program, and initiative promoting women, land rights, technology adaptation, and access to resources are crucial. Additionally, concerted efforts are needed to eliminate gender-based violence and discrimination to enable women full participation and benefit from agriculture. Modernizing agriculture requires investment in innovative technologies, research and development, and as we embrace the digital era, it is crucial to ensure that women are not left behind. We need to bridge the digital gender divide by promoting digital literacy and providing access to information and communication technology that can enhance productivity and market opportunity for women farmers. There is a need for women to be lifted and included into agricultural education up to the tertiary level. The female youth of the region must be drawn toward agricultural education such that our best minds remain in Africa to work in the modernization and sophistication of agriculture so that we can produce more efficiently in a greater way and with less labor intensiveness. Moreover, we must recognize the critical role of women in sustainable agricultural practices. Climate change poses significant threat to food security and livelihood, and women often find themselves at the forefront of climate change impact, yet they possess invaluable traditional knowledge and skills that contribute to climate resilience agriculture. Their voices in the modernization process are imperative to ensuring innovation and creation of agricultural practices that are efficient within the African climate. Therefore, we must be deliberate in supporting women's participation in climate change, adaptation, and mitigation strategies, providing them with the necessary tools and resources. Women also have the inherent potential to be agricultural entrepreneurs and to register and hold patent, trademark, and other intellectual property rights that can emanate from agricultural exploitation, including cheese manufacture, production of wine and cotton farming, to cite but a few, where modernization of agriculture can harness windfall gain. Geographical indication, which are mostly agro products, have a specific value according to their origin, such as honey or tea, also constitute a growing field where we are yet to have several African rights holders, especially women. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget that as parliamentarians, our role is crucial in advocating for policy reform, mobilizing resources, and fostering multi-stakeholder partnership that prioritize women's needs and aspiration in agriculture. I also wish to reiterate that gender equality is not a women issue, but a human rights issue that calls for all of us to come together as women and men in the Sadc region to foster harmonious collaboration in building a society where women and girls are empowered, their rights are safeguarded, and their voices reverberate with influence. On this note, I thank you all for your attention.
Regina Esperon ni mwenyekiti wa caucus ya wanawake katika Jumuiya ya Maendeleo Nchi za Kusini mwa Afrika SADC. Yeye amekuwa akiwasilisha yaliyomo kwa haki za wanawake katika kutetea haki zao za kila siku kwenye masuala ya kilimo.
To make his address. In the meantime, Oljoro JKT gets prepared.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and our guest of honor here today, the Right Honorable Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, our gracious host, the Right Honorable Nelly Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, distinguished honorable speakers, heads of delegations from member parliaments and of the SADC Parliamentary Forum. Allow me to observe protocol by acknowledging all the other distinguished personalities that are with us today and that are part of the SADC PF family also, but especially those among our distinguished personalities who represent the Republic of Tanzania, the great Republic of Tanzania. It is with great pleasure and honor that I am here before you in my capacity as President of the SADC Parliamentary Forum in this beautiful and vibrant city of Arusha. I wish to start by acknowledging the gracious participation of Her Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, in the proceedings of today. On behalf of the Forum, and for my own part, I wish to commend her for her leadership, which demonstrates a robust belief also in the works of parliaments of the region. And this, I believe, underscores a commitment and belief in the existence of democracy itself. I wish to express through her the gratitude of our forum for us being welcome in Tanzania, and to that I also add appreciation to my distinguished colleague, Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, because she represents for us the people of Tanzania and the National Assembly of Tanzania, who are hosting us with so much warmth and which have made us so much welcome in Arusha. I must say it is awesome to be in the shadow of Kilimanjaro, and I cannot but feel humbled in the presence of these momentous features of our world, even with Mount Meru, which I see from the window of my hotel. All of these remind us of our own smallness as men and human beings. But in this region also, there is a tremendous tribute that we can pay, because we are surrounded with so much reminders of the journey of mankind, the birth of mankind, and its journey to where we are today. It makes our presence in this region, country, and in the city of Arusha so much more meaningful. I believe, Honorable Speaker, colleague, that what you have done in bringing us here today demonstrates the commitment of the United Republic of Tanzania to pursue interparliamentary cooperation across the Sadc region under the auspices of the forum to which we belong. But it also indicates the strong bonds of solidarity between the Sadc PF and the National Assembly of Tanzania as a valued partner to the forum. As we meet here, I, of course, need to commend the outstanding female leadership, which for the first time ever in this country and probably in Africa is in charge of the eminent functions at the helm of your state institutions. I believe the Honorable Esperon will derive some comfort, at least, and some relief from her desperation about the gender gap in political leadership. Thank you. Indeed, it is not lost on me that we are holding this assembly in a country where gender equality is not just a textbook concept. In fact, equality in leadership position has been actualized for having, besides a female president and a female speaker, also a female clerk of the National Assembly, who has also provided us with so much help and welcome in her role. What it points to is that the three arms of the state are actually in the hands of women who have proved their capability to lead the country forward. The 53rd Plenary Assembly is yet another opportunity for MPs of the Sadc region to meet and discuss issues of mutual interest, in particular the plenary assembly serves to give us an opportunity to reflect and deliberate on how our own parliaments can advance themes discussed through the legislative oversight, budgetary and representative mandates. During the symposium, MPs will have an opportunity to deliberate on the important cross-cutting themes of agriculture, food security, and youth employment. And I must repeat my absolute respect for the Honorable Minister this morning for presenting us with a vision of what Africa can be. What Africa can be in this mission. He has underlined not only the challenges that we face, but the opportunities. And what's more, he has also shown us that behind all the words, there is a lot of action which we can take as an inspiration from this forum to our own parliament to pursue the quest for food security and youth employment. During the deliberations of this plenary assembly, members will be able to consider the thematic reports from standing committees which deal with an array of other development issues, such as public health, human and social development, investments in the region, and the control over the debt ceiling of member states. Through the tabling of reports, members will also be able to discuss government issues which affect the Sadc region, such as free and fair elections and the anti-corruption framework. In addition, as my colleague, Honorable Esparro, has called for, what is important is the domestication of model laws, which is an ongoing mission which calls for parliamentary leadership and advocacy. The recently adopted model law on gender violence and the law on public financial management continue to harness domestication momentum, and our membership is requested to follow up domestication initiatives and to report thereon to this assembly, and we will also highlight the obstacles that we have encountered and how to take our work further forward. The 53rd Plenary Assembly is endowed with a rich agenda, which will generate much heated deliberations and heighten interparliamentary engagements among our members. We keenly look forward to this Plenary Assembly adopting key resolutions which the membership will be entrusted to follow up with the respective parliament. I wish to remind our gathering of members that the strategic plan 2019 to 23 of the forum is coming to an end. The rest of the time, the 6 months that remain for it, are therefore crucial to ensure that the forum attains its coveted objectives in accordance with this strategy. I know that the subject of the transformation of the Parliamentary Forum to Parliament is a subject that continues to occupy our minds, and I'm sure we will not lose any opportunity to see how we can take it further forward. And I here must appreciate the support that we have had from heads of state so far in bringing this mission to realization. We still have some way to go, so it is important that we continue the lobbies at all levels for the agreement of amending the Sadc Treaty for this purpose. The signature of a majority of countries in this endeavor will pave the way for the protocol to be prepared and approved for signature and ratification by the SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government at the appropriate time. Fellow delegates, fellow members of Parliament, I am confident that your contributions at various levels in your capacity as members of this Assembly will ensure that the Forum achieves the noble aspirations that it has set itself for the SADC citizenry as a whole. I wish to take the opportunity to thank the people who have worked so hard to bring this event together and have done so much for its success. And I note again the contribution of the Right Honorable Speaker of Tanzania and her team for doing so much to put this together, and also our esteemed Secretary General, Ms. Buemo Segoma, who has always been ready for the work undertaken to bring us also together to prepare our agenda and to make sure that our proceedings go through smoothly. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Roger Masien. It's now time for another interlude, and I invite on stage Oljoro JKT to perform a piece that has been prepared for this occasion.
Halindwa we, halindwa, halindwa we, halindwa we, halindwa we, halindwa we, hoya we, emagalinde kenele we. Hoya we. Asema hoya lindwa we, galindwa we, halindwa we, galindwa we, halindwa we, galindwa, hoya we, galinde we, kenele, aya we. Halindwa we, galindwa, hoya we. Asema hoya we, haurazimo. Sema hoya we, haurazimo.